This the kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta, rat-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. This the kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta, rat-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta. DJ Spillis, sweet beat, the realest team on the realest. Watch out, I kill it, watch out, I spit it on the mic, feel it. Y'all can't do what I do, just admit it. I'm about to get it, money, get it. Drop it to the floor, shake my big bitties, bobbing like did it. My face look pretty, y'all ain't doing shit new, I done did it. Cause I'm marvelous, fantabulous, a bad chick. The flow sick like oh shit, you know this, I'm too fit to ever quit. Knocking these fools out like pool sticks. I do this, I move this, I prove this. Bars be hard like a pound of bricks. It go up, jumps the boogie to the bang bang high. This the kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta. This the kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta, rat-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta. This the kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta, rat-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta. This the kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta, rat-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta. This the kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta, rat-ta-ta.
It's Missy E and DJ Skrillex, yeah. This shit so hot, you with it, yeah.
Rev up your passion with the AEO Boys, the ultimate Assetto Corsa community. Calling all automotive enthusiasts and racing aficionados, join the exhilarating world of the AEO Discord, your premium hub for everything Assetto Corsa. Connect with like-minded individuals who share your love for cars, tracks, and the thrill of the race. Participate in thrilling races, leagues, and challenges organized by our dedicated team. Discuss setups, mods, and tips to enhance your driving skills and performance. Enjoy a welcoming and supportive environment where everyone is passionate about racing. Benefit from the knowledge and experience of seasoned drivers and simulation enthusiasts. We're committed to evolving and growing our community to meet the needs of all racing fans. For more details and updates, visit aeoboys.com and join us today at discord.gg/AEOboys and unleash your passion for driving in Assetto Corsa. Whether you're a seasoned driver or just starting out, AEO Boys Discord welcomes you to join our dynamic community. Rev your engines and accelerate into the world of virtual driving.
Hey everyone, MB Drifts here. Join me on Patreon to elevate your drifting skills with 3 levels of drift school, personalized Assetto Corsa support, and flexible 30-minute anything goes sessions. Your support helps maintain our event servers, which we really need. Head over to patreon.com/MB_drifts and choose your tier. Let's hit the virtual track together.
In need of focus and energy? Try sliding sauce at swiftenergy.gg. Make sure to use coupon code DSKIDS at checkout and save yourself 25% off the entire store.
Okay.
All right. Welcome to another episode of AEO with AEO. I'm your host, DSKIDS. Along with me, we've got MB Drifts, we've got Atmosphere, Kevin RSI, and
guys?
Master Yoda down there. Let me fix him. I believe we've got him hiding. There we go. All right, everybody's up on screen. Seems like all the audio stuff has been figured out. It has been a nightmare behind the scenes to get this one going, but here we are. So, how's everybody doing tonight?
Doing well. 30 minutes behind schedule, but we're here.
That's right. I mean, if we have yet to hit one, I think, on schedule. So just know we are a rough estimate schedule going forward. So you got the usuals here, but we have two new guests with us, Kevin and Atmosphere. Atmosphere being a moderator with us over at AAO, and then Kevin, want to take a moment and introduce yourself, what you do.
Well, I built some drift cars. I wrap some cars. I'm one of the owners of RentSpec Industries, and thanks to MB and you guys, you make me feel like I'm a little bit more professional sim racer.
All right.
We do what we can, you know. We got to make exceptions every now and again to let people into the community.
So I myself don't personally know Kevin, but you know MB and what, Yoda?
Yeah, I know MB and Yoda.
Okay. And how'd you guys meet?
Sim racing, I think. Brandon, maybe? Brandon connected us all?
Mini Yoda.
Yep.
Mini Yoda is our connector.
So
No,
Tobin.
I was gonna say Brandon was supposed to be our guest here last week, but unfortunately, some real life stuff got in the way. Hopefully, we'll have him back on soon.
yeah, we'll get something
Yeah.
scheduled at some point. Get him back on.
Yeah, he got his stuff figured out, so he should.
So. anyhow.
What car are we
Topics that
getting
we
in?
touched on last week. We did touch on in the drift corner. We touched on dampers. This week we will be touching on ARB and suspension geometry. That'll be later in the episode.
Yeah.
On this format, guys, we're going to be a little bit different, a little less structured, just kind of hanging out, kicking it, talking about kind of whatever comes to mind. So please feel free to bump in with anything you guys comes to head. Those of you that are watching in the chat, get in on the conversation. We do watch both chats from AEO as well as the D-Skids Twitch. So yeah, get in on the chat with us.
Nice.
So you guys want to go do some drift?
Yeah, we'll do some drifting. I can do some
Larry,
drifting.
what's going on, buddy?
Oh,
Yo,
my
yo.
boy's playing.
All right. What do you want to do? Aussie, Rockingham, something completely different, VDC, BDC.
You know what?
Take a
I
pick.
kinda want to go back to Maury.
Big Wave Serve, shout out. Spangland Gaming, shout out.
All
So
right.
were you guys thinking about sliding?
Royal Racing. Well, Mario Kart.
All right.
Kart action. So that'll be a MB Drift server, or is that you on the
Yeah,
AEO
MB1.
update?
Now we're gonna do MB Server 1. We're gonna be doing the Pro Am, Pro Spec, and DWG 350 on there for some slow boy actions if you choose it.
Okay, so those of you that do want to decide to join up with the boys and try to slide around with them, you can go to Content Manager, search up MB space drifts, uncheck missing, and the list of the servers will pop up. You guys can get in some sliding action with them as we do the podcast sitting here and bullshit.
I'm on the way. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, my action on the sim rig is gonna be a little dulled for a while. The other day I unfortunately had a tragic accident when actually I was swapping, so the main monitor here, and damaged. I lost one of my 32-inch monitors, so I had to see one off the sim rig so that I had one on the main desktop for a bit.
Oh, dang.
So the triples are down for a moment, but I still have VR, so I'm not out of the game.
I don't know. VR's where it's at. I did triples. I did big TVs. I don't know. I think VR is my move there.
You're not the only one that believes that either. I swear to God, bud. I'm sticking to VR.
I don't know, man. I kind of like the
back
old
and forth.
triple idea.
Chat, what do you guys use? What do you guys use? Triples, VR, single monitor? We've had the debate before.
iPhone.
Yeah, iPhone.
Whatever you got.
Just hold it in and turn it.
It's like the old, what was it, like Mario Kart Racing on the Wii, where you stick the controller inside of the steering wheel and are tilting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have the little gyroscope thing, you know.
Little tilt wheel. Yeah, I remember that thing.
So for me, triples is a different level of immersion. There's different levels of immersion for me. VR is great. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if you can't afford a triple setup, you should be just looking at a nice VR headset from like an Oculus, Quest 2, or something that's good to go at start. But for myself, like triples is a big part of it.
What would you say the screen size, the ideal screen size for triples would be?
So for me, I love I love the 32s for it. I've been on a 27 triple setup. It was nice, but it seemed a little small. 32s I think is a nice good price point where they're not too expensive of a monitor.
You can get triple curve 32s, I think, for what, like 200 a monitor.
Yeah, $200 a monitor. So you can get my monitor. When I bought my monitors, they were $300 a piece. But you can get them now. These exact monitors I use, the Optics G32C4s. They are a 1080p monitor, but when you're pushing triples, like with Pure and all of the mods, like I just try to keep it, you know, not as performance hungry, so my graphics card can fucking handle it. You know, especially with all the fucking mods.
I think I had 27-inch triples, actual gaming monitors, not the PCs, not the TVs I posted in the group chat, guys. But I had 27-inch monitors, and they were cool. Don't get me wrong. It was on one of those DOF motion platforms. And it was entertaining. I don't think it was more immersive than VR at this point. I do think there is a better VR headset than an Oculus. So when my Oculus finally dies, I'm going to be on the search for that thing. And then I went to 55-inch triples. Like, it was just 3 TVs. It was absolutely ludicrous in that room. It took up such a big footprint, and you can't see anything either. I wasn't digging that one either, so I think I ended up back to one single monitor and VR. I think that's the move.
I think I'm gonna go triple 50.
Triple 50s?
Yeah.
Sheesh. Dude, those 55s were huge. They were huge in this room.
Standard moth.
Well, I'm currently playing on a 65.
Well, as a single screen 55, it's a little bit different between that and a 3 of them, you know?
65. I'm
a
going
65?
Yeah, and then I'm going to a triple 50.
And then real quick, guys, let me get an audio check from chat. I was getting from Moth saying that I'm coming in a little bit quiet. I tried to turn myself up. Let me know if that sounds a little bit better or not. Go ahead, guys, continue.
Yeah, no, you sound great.
I was just saying I was going triple 50. I don't know. I think that would be the way to go.
What 50-inch screen would you be going to?
Just some TVs.
Just some TVs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was like.
I want to try to get the TV with like the least amount of bezel possible.
Okay.
So that way, like, you know, the split between the screens isn't very much.
Well, are there any like curved monitor 55s that you could go with? That would be in price range?
No, not in price range.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a couple. I was looking because one of my issues with my 55s were they were different TVs. Which, fun fact, if you're ever curious, don't fucking do it. You're gonna waste your time. God, it gave me a headache every time I used it. And then so I was looking at matching TVs, but the issue is the small bezel, because some of the more affordable TVs, and you have to buy 3 of them. It's not like you're buying one TV. The smaller bezels, man, those things are so expensive. There's a really nice Samsung one that came with my house, and I was like, oh, I wonder if I get 3 of those things, because it's curved also. But man, it doesn't make any sense, you know. I'm gonna keep it with
has
my
them
VR.
for $220 a piece.
For a 55 curved?
No, not for a curve, but for a 55. 4K.
But do y'all really like care for the curve versus over flat?
I don't really want curve. That's the reason yeah.
The only way I would go triples is if it's curved.
Do you guys think it matters?
I think it definitely matters.
I think it's weird curve, but that's just me.
Huh. Interesting.
It messes with my depth perception a little bit. I don't know.
For me, when I do my triples, mine are on 1500R curve 32s. They're curve setup.
I know a lot of my friends play on like a single, what's the big 49-inch curved or something.
Oh yeah, the G9 Odyssey or whatever.
Yeah, I have a couple friends that play on. They swear by those things. What are you guys thinking on something like that?
Oh, Boosted has
so I was considering getting the 49 curved, but it's to me like for like the size and like the real estate for that large of a panel, it's essentially a triple. Was it 24 inches? And so, I don't know. I couldn't just convince myself that it'd be worth it. But also, it being a VA style panel versus an IPS. I mean, don't get me wrong. They also make the OLED panels, which are nice, but at the same time, like I don't really feel like I would want to get an OLED panel just as of yet, even though the technology for them and the burn-in or anti-burn-in technology has like been advancing. I'm just not ready to take that leap yet. So
That was almost bad.
Yeah, you're getting into gibberish for me.
oh yeah, no, sorry.
I do like real cars, and I have to call MV every time something doesn't work.
He's not lying, guys.
Coming in saying burning ain't an issue anymore, dog.
Bet.
Yeah.
Sounds great. So I'm just gonna go buy me whatever I'm ready.
God.
We're
Oh my god,
Basically.
I'm tired.
So how does I know we were talking about screens in the sim, but I don't know how many of you guys like drive in like real cars and drift and stuff. Is there like does everybody drive a real car? I guess we should start there.
I mean, I drive a real car. I don't drift or anything like that. But
Drifting,
I mean, I drive
drifting.
a car.
No, drifting. Of course. We gotta go to like the store and stuff. But drifting, because the issue I think for me was switching, looking to the left and looking to the right on the triples. That bezel thing, man, it kills me. I even got those.
The bezel
Bezel
kit.
free kit.
Yeah, there you go. I even got that thing, and I think it just annoyed me a little bit more. I'm not gonna lie. But again, if my audio doesn't work, I'm calling MB.
God, I
Holy
just
crap.
playing out.
What was that? I saw flames like right
Apparently-
above me.
They're having
I
some
just
wild
took
shit
swang
today.
out.
Moth. Apparently, that's not going to be
I'm so sorry.
not going to be an issue now. So you don't need to worry about that.
Oh
4K
my
Roku
God.
TV.
My
getting
boy's
put in.
playing.
We're not. You're more than welcome to join the Discord, but we all in the podcast currently kind of have it muted
Yeah,
at the
that-
moment.
Yeah, we have it deafened because it makes us like
It was
double.
causing some issues and causing some doubling up with somebody's microphone there, as you can point a finger at one of the 5 of us here. So, but you guys,
Like a pointer
anyone
finger
of
or a
you
middle finger?
watching from the D-Skits Twitch or the AEO Twitch, you are more than welcome to get in on the chat via the chat there. We are monitoring it. We do see it. So, what is your
You know what?
preferred preference? What are you guys using for your setups? Monitor, single monitor, triple, VR? What's your preference?
Oh my god.
So I know I've had the 3 VRs, right? I've had the Quest 2, I've had the Pimax 5K Plus, and now the Quest 3. The difference between the 2 and the 3 is night and day. The Pimax 5K was
Really?
I was like almost a step sideways with the Quest 2, because the screen dooring that happened with the Pimax was so bad that it almost made the games unplayable. I mean, it was nice having that extra wide width to be able for your FOV, because like 200-degree FOV or whatever, but it didn't look good. It was nice to have the width, but it just
Man.
didn't have that pop that at least the Quest 2 had. And then when I
That was
upgraded
on my
to the
list.
3, yeah, the 3 is like night and day though, because with the glass lenses, the proper lenses, you're going away from those plastic ones that gave you that screen dooring. Now you've got the better lenses, better resolution, better internals, and it's a skinnier frame to your face. So it centers the weight even closer to your face, which makes it feel a lot lighter. A lot lighter. The only real upgrade that I've seen beyond this, it would be a big screen beyond, which is basically looks like a pair of swim goggles, but it's a VR headset. So damn small. So damn small. And
I think I'm bored with that.
the foam thing, it's not foam, it's like silicone, whatever. It has to be laser molded to your face through or not laser, but I don't know how they use it. Basically, you use an iPhone to take a 3D model of your facial structure, and they'll print you some inserts for it. It's like $100 a print. So every time you want to sell it to someone else, they'd have to spend $100 to get a new thing.
And this is for the big screen VR thing?
Yeah, that's correct.
What does that thing cost? Like where are we at price point on that one?
1,000, I think, or 15.
15?
I think.
What's that? What's the Pi? I know the Pimax is about there too, right?
Yeah, the crystal is like, well, they have the regular crystal and they have the crystal super. Right? Let me see.
Crystal light, crystal.
Yeah, the crystal light's like 750. Then there's the crystal, which is like 1,000 or 1,100.
Okay.
And then there's the crystal super at like 1,400, I believe.
But they're all in that same like $1,000, $1,500 price range.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, because that was like once I thought my VR was dying, so I got all excited because I was looking for another headset already, but it's just cable.
Yeah.
We all know how that goes sometimes.
So
You're like, this has to die first.
The big screen beyond is 1,000.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
like a 3-month waiting period.
No way.
I don't think
Why?
so.
I mean, I guess like for orders and stuff like that, it was like a waiting period. Like, I think I was looking at picking up back up in February, and it said it's going to take at least until
3 to 10 weeks is what the website says right
3
now.
to 10 weeks.
I mean, back then it was about 3 months. It probably has changed, hopefully, but
I mean, 3 to 10 weeks is, we're there. But yeah, that was one thing I was looking at was a different VR headset because I just feel like the Oculus could be better.
Yeah, you're right though. Yeah, what's up?
MB server.
You're cutting out for me.
Then I'm going to MB.
MB server what?
What?
3.
3. Okay. All right.
So as far as the sixth guest that we were gonna have on, yeah, he lost both cameras and a USB hub. Apparently, the USB hub went out.
Nice.
That's what it was?
I'm guessing so. Yeah.
Jesus, no wonder. Okay.
So,
all right, HPA. Let's get some action going. All right, I'll go ahead and share my screen for y'all so you can get it through.
I am in a DW.
So we got Calombres coming in saying VR user mainly, but yesterday I tried single screen racing on Laguna with the MX-5 and wasn't too far off my pace. Starting off VR, I thought it would take me some time to adjust going on a competitive race, but it only took me a 15-minute practice session to be 3/10 off my PB, which isn't much. So him going, single screen from VR, it's not bad because that's a loss of a lot of depth perception from VR to.
You really do. Yeah, you really do lose a lot. But I guess at the same time, when you have that many hours and you have that much experience, as Columbus does, that going from that VR where you know everything into single screen where you're just have stuff taken away, you still have the muscle memory of what your VR experience was. So it shouldn't be that much difficult,
Yeah, so it was the transition from him just changing the muscle memory, right? Or using his said muscle memory and just adapting the current visual situation.
Yeah.
Once he figured out where you kind of were and what the track was visually, it was muscle memory from that point, I think.
Oh yeah.
For sure, and I think half the battle is literally setting your stuff up. At least for me, it is. It's setting up your stuff to work right. And if you have your single screen set up correctly versus your VR, I used to drive single screen all the time until I got the VR set up. But yeah, I think it's mostly setup, and then once you have your setup golden or in a remotely close place, it's not too bad, honestly. I'm just just a VR guy.
Understand that. I understand that completely because I'm the same way. I stuck to VR like glue, man.
Interesting.
Once I got over that initial sickness, that was it. I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to do single screen anymore.
Guess we'll keep it to the 6 cam collab then. Other than our ads for now, because it seems that when I transition you guys to like a full screen cam while you're talking, the audio drops and gets lower. So we'll just leave it to our collab cams, and it should be a fine format just for us sitting here discussing anyway.
Yeah.
So I know we're a little into this, but I don't think I know the rest of you guys. So we introduced ourselves. What do you guys do inside, maybe off online, whatever, for work? Who are you guys?
Myself, so I'm D-Skids. I am the community manager over at AAO. All that literally means is I do the same shit that all these guys do, except for I just
moderation and extra bullshit.
And extra shit. I just reach out to them and bug them a little bit more about doing the same shit that we're already doing. So, outside of that, you know, I'm in this doubled audio a little bit is messing with me. So myself, I'm an enthusiast racer. Online, I do drifting, GT, F1. Outside of that, I was a machine builder until recently, until I moved into, well, streaming and pursuing a lot of my outside ventures, you know, getting my own business going. So, as well as pushing, you know, my energy drink and such like that. Simcave Media coming in with a shout out saying, Kevin.
Hey, that's the boy Brandon.
What up, B?
That's the dude that connected us.
And he was actually supposed to be our guest last week. With some technical, and then real life took him away for a bit. So that's all right. We'll have you back on at another time.
But that baby's already a month old. Shout out, B.
On an energy drink.
What's that? I'm sorry.
I said his baby's already a month
on
old.
That energy drink? Oh, his baby is a month old.
Oh my god.
The plug on the energy drink is actually sliding sauce, which I have a tub sitting right here. Sliding sauce is a play on the Rocket Pop flavor. It's from Swift Energy. You can get that at swiftenergy.gg. And use coupon code DSKIDS, gets you 25% off. Not only just my flavor, but the entire store. So,
what does it take to make an energy drink?
So,
research, money.
Lots of research, money.
Hey, everything's money. Everything is money, man.
In my case, it was just getting linked with the right people, and then trying stuff, deciding on a flavor, creating a label, and then just, you know, truly standing behind the product. So,
how are you marketing it?
Facebook, this right here, through streaming, just social media. I mean, the website does pretty well. It's
and then
not
word of
only just
mouth
myself. So the way Swift Energy works is it's word of mouth through like all of our creators and such. There's creator tubs not only just for myself but other people.
I got you. How long has it been around?
It's been around for 4 years now.
Okay, sick.
Actually, just celebrated its 4th birthday not too long ago.
Dang, and we didn't have a party. We didn't have nothing.
No, but there was a celebration that was a percentage off to everybody for a limited time flavor of Gamer Girl bathwater.
I ordered a tub. It got here today. I still haven't gone to the mail to pick it up yet.
Nice.
So
you have a tub of Gamer Girl bathwater.
He does.
I do.
He has a tub of Gamer Girl bathwater.
I almost got 2, but the coupon code didn't work for it.
Because at the time, actually it wasn't the coupon code. It was that when MB purchased his tub, he actually purchased the very last tub, and before they restocked. And this will be the last stock of Gamer Girl bathwater. When it sells out this time, it's gone.
Oh man, you guys hear that? You need to
Hop
get
on
your
that.
Stock
order
up
in,
on the
man.
Gamer Girl bathwater.
You guys need to get your orders in.
So hey, Kevin.
Brandon saying time is flying.
It is.
Yeah. Before you
Yeah.
know
I have
it,
a question for you, bud.
What's up?
We got 6 more weeks.
So with all of the stuff that we've done to the Z, right?
Mhm.
What options do you think that we've got for next steps? Because honestly, with the Z, it's more of a, I'm trying to have it as a kind of like base model, but steadier and sturdier.
Yeah.
Power-wise, right? And I know that I've already started with suspension. We were discussing some of that last week with the dampers.
Mhm.
And I know I also wanted to talk about getting some ARBs and steadying up the weight transfer. Do you think that would be a good next step?
Yeah, I think having the option to add that adjustability is always a great step. I tried to keep people from building their pro car in the beginning. Like, people needed to get in a car, go drive the thing, and see what you like, or get on a sim and go drive the sim and see what you like. In your case, I'm a lot more lenient than I am with most people. Most people, they're trying to add stuff, and I tell them to go somewhere. But man, because people don't understand. They're like, "Oh, I want to buy every part on the internet." Yeah, but
Right.
this part performs differently than this part, and then that guy on the internet has a Corvette and not a 350Z, and he's trying to tell you what to add. It doesn't work like that, you know. Like, you need to talk to somebody that has experience in that chassis. So I think in your case, since you are familiar with the adjustability, then adding the adjustability of a sway bar is golden, because you can pop it off when you don't need it. You can make it stiffer, you can make it softer. I'm not familiar with a lot of the brands, but I know, for instance, we just did one on Stewart's Corvette, and that thing has different pickup points for different settings, essentially harder and softer and whatnot. You go crazy with some of the bar setups, but I think one of the off-the-shelf ones with a little bit of adjustability will do wonders. My C7 doesn't even have a rear sway bar. I have a factory one I put on every once in a while, but I usually don't. I run a stock one on there most of the time, and then for certain tracks I just disconnect it, you know. But I've been driving that car for a few years now, so I know exactly what it needs most of the time.
Right. Okay. All right. So going into suspension, that kind of brings us into the drifter's corner, doesn't it? Where we were talking about, let's see, let me pull up the spreadsheet here. We're talking about suspension and ARB adjustments. So Kevin, give us a little bit of what happens when you strengthen a front ARB versus weaken it?
To keep it simple, it will keep the car planted. So it'll distribute the sideways loads from left and right to like almost equally between the cars. Not exactly, obviously, but it tries to balance out your left and the right side of the car when you're sliding. And in the drift world, it could be something as simple as, hey, my car is understeering, or it's driving real weird, or it wants to like snap to angle or something stupid. It could be as simple as sticking it on and the car drives perfect. I'm not saying that happens every single time, but there are a few cases. So
if it's understeering, you'd want to add roll bar in the front?
It'll help in certain scenarios. So like, for instance, my rule of thumb is on bank tracks, I'll usually pull my sway bar, just because the bank track has a transition to a flat, and with the sway bar it tries to distribute that load or that flex between the two wheels, and usually in my car usually like wants to hop around or do something weird. So I found that taking the sway bar off kind of smoothens the car out a lot. It kind of hurts you though at stuff like HPA or flatter tracks like that.
By taking it out, okay.
Yeah. Cheers
because
to
you're
all
adding
of you
that.
out there that are having a drink with us. While,
Cheers,
listening.
cheers. Take a water, cheers.
A little bit of whiskey.
Stay hydrated.
A little bit of whiskey never hurt anybody.
Yeah, but like
Unless you're underage and driving.
Sim Caveman put it in the chat. It loosens up the front. I mean, if you take it off, it'll loosen up the front. You put it on, it'll tighten up the front. It's one of those things that are I feel like a little harder to explain, so everybody understands it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It also depends a lot on some of your springs or the rest of your car setup. Essentially, you put it on a car with different tires on it, it's gonna perform differently. Obviously, you know. And people don't give credit to tires, because most of the time I'm dealing. I think we dealt with your car. You're like, hey, it's doing this, and this, and I was like, if you don't put good tires on it, I swear to God.
Yep.
You know,
Because we started off the season with an old pair of fronts instead of starting with a new set all around.
And that's my go-to. It's I tell everybody they want to order parts and they want to do all this, and I'm like, maintenance. Put good tires on it. Make sure you have spark plugs in the car. Make sure the oil is changed. You know, everybody's out here trying to be FD champion, and their car barely will make it to Walmart. You know, like get your car in a working order first, and then we can start on making changes. Because a lot of the people they're buying parts and they're buying stuff to fix their maintenance issues. You know, they're trying to compensate. Oh, my car doesn't make it around the bank, or my car doesn't make it around the corner. Well,
when was the last time you changed your plug wires?
You know, like the car's misfiring. No shit, it's down like 300 horsepower. It's down 100 horsepower, whatever. You know, whatever. It doesn't have the power to do it, but you know, you fix the car and it runs right. Oh, suddenly it makes that corner, and you don't need, you know, $9,000 in suspension parts or LS1 or LS3 or whatever. You know. So,
I mean, that gets rid of the power problem too, but in a roundabout way.
You know, it does. But if you can't maintain your stock motor, you're not going to maintain your race car. I promise.
True. Which you were saying a good point about maintaining your oil. Now, for a car that goes out on the track, say once a month, we're changing the oil monthly. We're changing it for every event.
So
right.
That comes down to type of oil and the abuse you're putting on the car, right? And the kind of car, right? So if you're out there in a stock car, and you put decent oil in it, I don't think it's 100% necessary to change the oil every single time. Now, if you're out there in something that's wound all the way up, you're making every ounce of horsepower that thing can possibly put out, yeah, you're going to change the oil every time because you want zero issues. But like a stock Z or something, you'd go a few events without changing the oil. I wouldn't go monthly.
Okay.
That time thing doesn't work for me. Obviously, if your car's sitting there for a year or something, sure, change the oil. But I do my oil changes based on event intervals. We send it out to there's a few of those oil analysis people, and they'll tell you, hey, you're changing your oil too soon. There's nothing from it. Like, I can't tell you anything here. Or you need to change your oil more, but that oil analysis is gold in there.
Like Blackstone or whatnot.
Yeah, I use Blackstone for all of my stuff. It's convenient. They send you. I have 47 bottles of Blackstone oil analysis things. So it's just, it's just convenient. We change the oil, we take a sample, we ship it out, and it'll tell us, hey, I found on my Corvette that even I mean, and my car's mostly stock. I've gone through the whole built motor thing. I've gone through, just crazy LSX motors, just like wild stuff. And my current car is a stock motor, stock transmission Corvette. Sure, it makes 500 horsepower or 400 and some change, but it's competitive. It runs with everybody. And I was changing the oil like it was a pro car because I was driving it like a pro car. And I sent the oil and they're like, hey, you're changing your oil too much. So now I change my oil every 2 to 3 events. It comes out just as clean as it went in. So I think on a well-maintained stock motor, I don't think you need to be changing the oil every event. I think on yours, I think I told you every 3 to 4 events or something.
Yeah. Now, what was it with diff fluid though? Was diff fluid the sooner one?
No, oil is most likely. Oil is going to be the most frequent changed one. Diff fluid is one of those. Let's see what it looks like. Let's pull a little bit out and see where we're at. I change mine fairly often too. I change a lot of them fairly often just to be safe.
Yeah.
And I like to see, especially like something like the 350Zs or the 240s or something with like a welded. I'm not changing it to change the fluid. I'm more so changing it to see if any welds broke off, if anything's going on in the diff. I change it just to get a peek inside the item that we're changing the fluids in. So a lot of the times, like even the transmissions, a lot of the times I'm not changing the oil because it's time to change the oil. I'm changing the oil to see what's going on inside that item, motor, transmission, differential, whatever. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay. All right.
We try to catch problems before we take a car to the track and you spend all this money
Right.
and the thing explodes and it's totally preventable, or it's, hey, your diff was coming apart. We noticed it. We just put more fluid in and send it. We can't do that.
Right.
I want to be able to
for
change the
sure.
fluid and be like, hey, this is coming apart. We need to deal with it before we go to the event.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you're going to be out there dealing with a blown ass motor or a blown ass clutch or a blown ass diff when you're
So-
trying to be racing.
Real fast, just because we did have an ad playthrough on the AEO Twitch. Just a friendly reminder to all of you that you are able to subscribe to the channel, remove those ads. But if you missed out on a section, you are actually able to go and get the VODs from YouTube /DSkits. All of our VODs are posted later the night after the podcast, if not first thing the next day. And all podcasts will be available on SoundCloud and
Or Spotify. Spotify.
and Spotify. Spotify,
Oh, you-
they are actually on there now. Links will be posted in the description of the YouTube channel, as well as I will get them posted in the description of this video afterwards as well, if you want to subscribe on Spotify and stay tuned that way.
All right. Oh shit! Sorry.
No, you're
My
good.
bad, Aaron. I completely didn't even watch you or see you through the smoke. I guess because your car is beige.
We
Pick a better
should,
car
isn't it?
color.
So MB, since this is becoming more and more popular, what would you say some of the difficulties are coming from sim racing? Because I think you primarily were racing on sim and transitioning into racing in real life. What do you think
Okay.
some of the struggles are? What are your thoughts on that one?
All right. So to be fair, it is completely possible. Completely. I want nobody to think anything else. It is completely possible to go from sim to reality with minimal hours if you have enough training on the sim.
So if I'm not
It's-
mistaken, isn't it the opposite way for you, Kevin? Where you drove more IRL and then came to the sim?
It was definitely a learning curve. It was because I'm used to so many inputs. I'm used to the seat vibrating. I'm used to the car, the G-forces. I'm used to the gas pedal making a certain vibration when the car's at a certain RPM. I started without the guidance of a lot of people. So I was just like, I'm buying this. And it ended up being, of course, as you guys know, all of the cheap stuff that doesn't vibrate and do all the cool stuff. So I'm like, man, this is so stupid. And I was so excited because I figured out how to drive this video game, and I would show other people and I wouldn't understand, like, hey, you guys should be excited too. You're real life drivers. I'm a real life driver. We went to the sim. It's cool. We could do it on the game. And they're like, this is dumb. And it took getting like a direct drive wheel. It took getting real pedals, a real rig to where the steering wheel wasn't moving and it wasn't actually feeling like a video game. The direct drive wheel was like game changer for me, honestly.
It's where it avoids feeling like a toy. anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So coming from a real car to the sim, I probably had 100 or 200 hours of just nonsense of dealing with computer problems and like setup problems or the wrong hardware. I started on a Thrustmaster, I think, and it was rough. Like it wasn't like my real car. And I'm pretty adaptable. You can throw me in just about any car, and I will figure out how to get it around the track. Will it be good? Maybe, but I can get it around the track.
If only he hadn't stumbled into the AEO Discord beforehand.
But yeah, no. If you're a real car guy and you're switching to the sim, you need to just jump into a direct drive setup, and that will get you most of the way.
Feeling right.
That was the biggest.
It will
thing
make
for
it.
me.
Yes, it will make it the difference between it feeling good and feeling like complete trash.
Yeah.
Once you get settings right, once you get the thing configured properly, that's very important.
And it's the community.
Settings,
it's the Discord community. Honestly, it's the you get with your friends that are driving. If you're a real driver, you just find that sim group, because there's always going to be one now at this point in time. There's always going to be a sim group at the drift event. Go find them, ask them all the questions, ask them what you should buy, how you should set it up, and buy it, as your budget allows. And but whatever they tell you is most likely going to be like proven. Just make sure it's a direct drive wheel, and I think you're pretty solid from there. You can get away with cheaper pedals. I feel like you can get away with a cheaper shifter and that kind of stuff.
I disagree with
the
pedals though.
Well, I mean, man, I was on those what's the Thrustmaster ones? Those
TLCMs, T3PAs.
Yeah, the T3PA Pro or something. I think that's what I had, and I ran those for like 4 years. So,
But now, guess what you've got?
Yeah, and it's a different ball game. But again, if you're starting, I don't think that's a bad option to start with. They weren't terrible. You play it with no shoes. It's all gravy.
Syndicate media. A properly set up wheel is like having a properly set up car. It will make or break your experience. I 100% agree. Standard Moth coming in with, he is currently watching us right now in VR with his Quest.
Hey, let's go.
Let's get it.
So.
But yeah, no, I think going for this, I watched the sim guys go to car stuff, and it cuts your time in half. It cuts your time, not even half. Probably like you take 3/4 off your learning time, just because you get to practice the sim stuff. You get to feel what it's like, somebody pushing your door in. Man, I can't tell you.
It scares the shit out of you, dude.
Really?
I swear to Christ, if you are in VR and you're doing laps, say on Brooklyn or something, and then somebody comes in there and you're not expecting it, and all of a sudden you get tapped by someone who's actually good, you're like, oh shit, and you look back because you know that bump came from the back or the rear left. You could feel your ass in going out,
Dude,
that's the difference in VR.
Even going into
the immersion
walls.
is there.
Even going into walls and stuff. I can't tell you, the first time I got scared going into the wall. I legit was scared in my simulator crashing into a wall. So I think if you can knock out a lot of those fears and those like self-limiting thoughts, hopping into a real car,
all those mental blocks.
Yeah, for sure. You're gonna have what I had to explain to MB is there's this thing called mechanical sympathy, and you sim racers don't understand what that means. But you have to be nice to the car, unless you build this pro car, which you shouldn't, because you can't drive it. So I mean, I'm sure you can, but like your budget better be there. You know what I mean? Because it's not cheap.
Right. You got to be able to support every aspect of maintaining that car afterwards.
I think from the outside looking in, especially coming the other way from an IRL driver to the sim driver, I see the sim guys struggling with mechanical sympathy. That's going to be the biggest thing. That's how you guys destroy the cars. So just be nice to those things when you get a real car. You can't be out there just clutch kicking the shit out of it around the whole track.
No, you can't do that. I learned that.
But yeah, no.
Especially if the clutch is on its last legs to begin with, don't do that. It usually doesn't turn out too good. Well, last throw out bearing.
Standard Moth coming in. So after drifting on the sim for so long and trying to slide at IRL, it really does feel the same. And now that I'm in VR, it feels even more like driving IRL. Now, if I could get my diff welded or a good diff for sliding, then I'm confident that I could slide the same way in my 200 horsepower Crown Vic, the same as I do lower horsepower cars in the sim.
But
There's
one thing that you're forgetting is that angle kit / cut knuckles. You do got to do that in order to keep the angle, bud. You can't just toss a welded diff in there and expect to be able to slide it with the stock angle.
Hey, there's a guy in San Antonio. His name slips my mind, but he has a Crown Vic or had a Crown Vic, and this dude was at every single event. He was driving it. He was getting down with all the boys. Like he was getting down.
What?
He was there. I'm pretty sure that car
Was it a
still
stock
runs.
Crown?
I mean, I don't know exactly what his mods were, but I think it was probably like welded diff, angle kit or something, and a hydro. But
Yeah,
basically,
that's literally all it
stuff,
takes.
You know.
Oh, just lost everybody for some reason. Hold on, let me bring you all back on screen. Lost you guys all for a second. Wild. Must have had a hiccup with my internet there. I literally like lost everybody for a moment. So hold on.
So no, you were saying there's a guy in San Antonio that's got a Crown, right?
Stock hydro, welded diff, and I don't know, an angle kit or something. And he gets down. He was at like every event for multiple years in a row.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna have to look them up, but those things work. They do work.
Well, yeah,
But
I mean, those police cars fucking kept up for all those years.
I would say though, there is a difference between cut knuckles and something like an FDF kit.
Oh, true story. 100%.
What's going on here?
Investing in the proper products to begin with will do you better over the long haul. It's the same as sim racing, really. Buy once, cry once, but you still keep crying with real life cars even after you cry.
So the thing is, I kind of have a little different opinion. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Because sure, it's nice to go buy this, pro FD car or whatever the case may be, but when you go to drive something that isn't perfect or isn't exactly the way you think it is, it's not going to work. The sim guys, I think, will do a lot better because you guys have the ability to jump from car to car, try different setups and all that. But I saw it a lot more with the real life guys that went and bought an FD car, and they're like, hey, I'm going to go drive this stock 350Z. And they couldn't link the track because the thing didn't have 90 degrees of steering angle. The thing didn't have 800 horsepower. So they're like, this thing, it's broken. This sucks. I'm going back to my pro car. And that's all they can drive. And I think that kind of sucks, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
I enjoy driving. I enjoy driving jank stuff. I like driving stuff that where power steering might not work. I like driving stuff a wheel might fall off. That's so entertaining to me. Like I love it.
It's an experience.
Yeah, and then the ability to get into a pro car and then run doors with all the pros. I mean, not all the pros, but some of the
better
people
ones.
in my driving skill level. I think it's so sick.
Like,
yeah,
okay, so for instance, who are some of the IRL drivers that you've been able to get tandies with?
Oh,
Like,
man, dude, I've been
pro
playing
drivers.
that for forever. I think Chris Leonard comes to mind just because we just had a bunch of pretty gangster laps at the Wrench in San Antonio. Shout out to them. They found some random track in the middle of nowhere. It is sick and fast and sketchy. I love all of it. And I mean, his car is 800 horsepower. Mustang, supercharged Mustang, SI50 or whatever. And the thing is rowdy. It's super rowdy. And to chase him down in like my stock Corvette, it's cool. Like granted, like we go into comp, he's gonna beat me no matter what.
Yeah.
Unless he spins or something stupid. But his car out horsepowers mine. We have similar-ish suspension setups. His is a bit nicer than mine. He's like a level up on mine. But just to chase that caliber of driver and be in the video, I'm excited. But that like I was saying, I started KA cars. I started in stuff that a wheel might fall off, a transmission
An old
might fall out of
S13
it.
chassis that's got a not so favorable rear end there with maybe a wheel bearing that has seen better days.
All you guys that have 240s where the frame is separating, that's probably my fault. You're welcome. we rolled through those things. I think, man, Brandon just posted the Jay-Z car. That car started as a very, very nice car, and I made it very, very not nice. It was it was cool though. 1J turbo. We made extended lower control arms. We made the cut knuckles, and I mean it took probably 5 or 6 revisions of it all, but man, that car worked. It took forever, but it worked. I think driving it nowadays with the caliber car that's driving, because this was, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, it wouldn't compete without a substantial amount of changes. But that was a good car back in the day. That was sick. But I mean, nowadays we're all driving damn near FD cars from 5-10 years ago.
Yeah, y'all are. I mean, to be honest, the cars have come a long fucking way in technology for modifications and stuff in that period of time.
Swang-a-lang gaming. I know a guy that swings an old Auto Thunderbird during 2J cars. Shout out to TJ Kelly. And then standard mod. Yeah, cheers, bud. Cheers. Yeah, for sure, man. If anybody who's having a drink, cheers to you guys. I'm having one as well. So
let me ask you, Kevin, how many years have you been drifting?
Oh man, you bring me down. I gotta bust out a calculator. What are we, 2024? I've been driving since like 2011. I don't know, about 13 years or something.
13 years of drifting.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, I need a life or something. No, it's been cool.
Hey,
it's been cool. I've learned a lot. I've met a lot of great people. Pretty much all my friends are car guys. I have a bunch of people in the industry now. I couldn't be thankful enough. Like without everybody, I 100% wouldn't be where I am. So that's super cool. You meet some of the greatest characters across the world too, across the country. Like I can't tell you, every friend that I have outside of Texas is 100% a car guy. Like 100% they're a car guy. You have friends in Colorado or Florida. I can go anywhere in the country and hey, what's up, dude? And you meet people. So yeah. I think that's probably one of the greatest things about that.
Yeah. Sim Cave. Or no, excuse me, I'm sorry. Standard mod. Drifting is the life. What are you talking about?
Drifting is life. You do have to take some time to get your life in order, but as long as you can I've kept drifting there like 13 years or whatever, and it has brought me to where I am now. I feel like I can drink a beer whenever I want to. I can go eat whatever I want to, which is pretty nice. It's more than some people can say. And
very true.
It's all the drifting. Like everything I do has been around drifting. Drifting has motivated most of it. Without it, I don't think I would push nearly as hard as I did in life.
Do you think that like pushing yourself to keep drifting like in your life and whatnot has helped you like achieve some other goals, like just because you're pushing yourself so hard?
For sure, because drifting is expensive. We all know that. Tires are expensive. Just keeping the car running is expensive. Like
yeah, we were going over that like last week actually.
Yeah,
and the first podcast.
It's expensive, man. And all I wanted to do was drive, and I had to figure out how to drive. So that I needed to figure out how to make money, and you got to take a couple months here and there to get your life rolling to where you can make the money to go drive the events you want to drive or drive the cars you want to drive. So I can say without a doubt that drifting has made me push there, because I like driving stupid shit. I think I do. Like I like driving the stuff people don't drive. One of my first cars or first real builds was a right-hand drive S13, and then I got a right-hand drive S14, just because nobody had it. And then after that, I was like, well, cool, I had the right-hand drive thing. What do we build?
Was that the purple one?
GS300. No, it wasn't the purple one. It was white. Shout out to all the old school StatusWorks guys. Brandon knows who I'm talking about. But we all had like matching white cars with one single StatusWorks sticker on it, all blue wheels. Like it was fun. But yeah, like even then I was driving like first gen GS300s and second gen GS300s just because nobody else had it, and I knew I could build one.
So what cars are in the stable right now?
In the
For
stable?
everyone's knowledge. Yeah.
My
Which ones are
stable?
your stable?
Oh man. I have.
What do y'all got?
I am at the lowest car count I think I have been in years. But the car quality has infinitely increased. Yeah, you know.
It's up there. I'm not gonna lie.
So I think the primary car most people know is the C7. That was one of those cars that nobody had it really, and I wanted to drive something different. I had a C6 previously, which was cool, but I wanted to see what the next level was. And the first time, and I was working at like a GM performance shop. So the first time I saw a C7, I was like, man, I want one of these. This is sick. So when I finally got a chance to get my hands on one, of course, I ruined it and
turned it into a drift car immediately.
And the last 2 years, man, like I've been telling people lately, I haven't even pulled the valve covers off that car. That thing is so reliable, it's nuts. I change the oil, I change the fluids. I think we break a diff every once in a while, but other than that, that car needs nothing. It's so sick. And then
and are you on an LT platform or an LS?
LT, they're LT. Yeah, LT1. Which is insane. Everybody's like, oh, it's like the next LS or whatever, but it is insanely close and insanely different. The direct injection makes the responsiveness of the LT wildly better. Like wildly better. The electronics suck until you can turn them all off, and then they work in your favor because it keeps the car alive. This thing has done probably 30 something 40 events in 2 years, and I've never pulled the valve covers off this thing. Like I put a diff in it, mainly because we put the wrong fluid in it. But other than that, you know, I'm sure that thing would probably still have a factory diff in it. That car is nuts. I've made, you know, over 1,000 horsepower to a ton of them with bone stock transmissions and bone stock differentials and stuff. So my car making 500 horsepower is not stressing this thing at all. It's beautiful. And then I think the second project, I'm not sure if I should share just yet, but I'm going to. We are putting together a turbo front trans C6, built 6-liter. It should be pretty cool. It should be a replica of this. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that guy. Hold on. What do you mean, hold on? That's you. So okay. Yeah, it should be. It's gonna be a replica of that guy, but on a budget. That guy's quick change dog box and all that nonsense.
Yeah.
But the one I'm building to go out and play with people and, you know, kind of not have to care too much about because it's much cheaper to maintain than the C7. It's the C6 just sitting in the storage unit waiting for its turn. I don't know what else we building. We're building Danny a pretty dope LSZ. That's coming up next.
Yep.
He just needs to acquire a couple more parts, and I think we're ready to rock.
Hell yeah. Ready to stay on track.
We've been chilling,
ready to
man.
Drive with him.
We've been chilling.
Get them tandies in.
You know, after I get down there, we're gonna have an LSZ.
We've been chilling. That's Hey, let's get it. I mean, that's the
asking how much driving is the event? Question mark.
How much driving is at the events, or how much is it to drive the events?
I guess we'll need a little bit more clarification on that one. But if you guys want to say how much, so how much are you guys typically spending when you guys go drive together, say for the day?
Are you talking entrance fee, or are you talking like just everything?
Let's go with that. I mean, you can break it down if you want, but let's say everything.
Okay, so everything, like when we're going out, that can range anywhere from 800 on the low end to thousands on the high end, depending on what breaks.
Yeah, it really depends on what you're driving, first and foremost, because going out there in something like a BMW or going out there in something like an 800 horsepower Mustang are two complete different budgets you're driving in. You know what I mean? For instance, you can go out there with a Z, assuming you do literally everything yourself. If you're by yourself, you're not paying any crew members, you're not doing any of that. You can go out there on a pair of tires and just drive. Like, so you're paying your entry fee, which I think on the high end entry fees are like $300, $400. On the low end, like $50. So event and location and stuff, and then a pair of tires. I would always suggest buying new ones. I think me and MB went through that a little bit. Hey, just buy the new one, because you're gonna pay the same amount of money if you buy 2 sets of used tires and then still pay 2 people to mount them. Like, you're paying the same money as you're paying for 1 pair new, and it lasts longer, and you get a more consistent practice lap or practice session. But
Very
I think he's definitely right. You're going out there, and between fuel and whatnot, I would say on the low end maybe like $500. On the high end, thousands.
Well, entrance fees range anywhere from like $100 to like 300, 400, depending on who's at the event, what the event is. That's also important to note.
So Mazziaro is saying, how much driving is in the event, like simultaneously in drift on a event?
Oh, man, it depends on your budget. If
Yeah,
you
it really does.
the event really. So like, if you go to something like a Grid Life, so I've done a few Grid Lives, and they have sessions. You'll end up driving, a few sessions a day, and each session's about 20 minutes. So, a couple hours there. But again, it's the event. But if you go to something like an IES Drift or a Lone Star, where you can pretty much pull out on the track whenever you want to all day, it's going to be until your car breaks or you run out of tire. Or fuel, yeah. And it comes down to your budget again. So like, if you're out there with, I don't care how much I spend, you can drive all day. I can see somebody getting 6 hours of lap time if your car takes it and your wallet takes it. You can go ahead. If it rains, I caught myself hot lapping in the rain. I think we went to Mid Pond maybe a year or so ago, and it rained all morning. I hot lapped from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. or something. I was like hungry, and I got off track. I ran out of gas, and I was hungry.
That's
so,
when
like,
you had a good session, right?
You know what I mean? The car just runs most of the time. You roll the windows up, you turn the AC on, you could just do it. But yeah, it depends on the car, it depends on your budget, your driving style. If you drive like me, you're gonna get way less seat time because you're always changing fucking tires. Or if you're chill about it, your car setup is pretty chill, then you can hot lap all day. I've seen some of these Z guys go multiple days on the same pair of tires, which is absolutely insane to me.
If you get a good lap or you get a good day where it's raining and you can save that set of tires that day, oh god, it's great. It's amazing, because that means a whole free day of tires.
Yeah, and that's my biggest expense. I know last time me and you went out, MB, I probably spent like $1,000 in tires, and you're like, oh, I'm on my second set, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, that's the difference. You're making 500 horsepower to the wheels, and you're running through tires like crazy, But your car was also on track a hell of a lot more than the 10 minutes that I was actually on there.
I was driving. Yeah, and then, again, that comes down to if your car makes
how ready is the car.
What's your budget? What's your tire budget like? And if you can mentally be out there, you have to. You can find events where you can drive 8 hours a day, 7 hours a day, or whatever. Sure. What the real question is can you focus for that long? Are you actually learning something? Are you actually improving, or are you just out there in the way, spinning out, not focusing? If I'm mentoring somebody when they're driving, and I watch them do the same mistake 3 times in a row or something, I'm like, yo, go drink some water, go take a piss, do something, go stop driving, just take a break, and it gets your mental back grounded, and then you can drive again. So I think that's another thing versus how many laps, because your wallet is gonna remind you how many laps you can take.
Or that ding on your phone, hey, your account is overdrawn $250. You're not allowed to pull any more money out this time.
Yeah, facts. Or your temp gauge is pegged hot, and your motor said fuck you. There's something that's gonna tell you how many laps you can get. It's
if nothing else, the old lady's gonna go.
Yeah, in my experience, there's something that's going to limit you versus how much. There's very few events that will tell you can't drive very much. Grid Life is one of those where you don't get a ton of laps, but every lap you get is so sick. So it's worth it. But like a grassroots event, oh man, as much as you want to drive, really.
So we have a question from Moth here.
Real.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, I was gonna say we have a question from Moth here. Is do any of you guys run water wetter or super coolant in the drift cars?
Ooh, great question. I do both. So if I plan on, if it's going to be cold, and we're in Texas, so we actually have a season for cold sometimes. You can kind of predict when it's cold. It's like about 3 days out of the year. If it's during that period of time, I put actual coolant in my car. For the rest of the year, I put water wetter and water in my car, just because I have been on track so many times where some idiot hits some other idiot or a wall, or he hits himself, and there's coolant all over the track, and you're trying to door somebody, and you hit this ice patch in the middle of a track at like 60 miles an hour, and you guys destroy like $1,000 worth of shit because this guy had coolant in his car, and he shouldn't even been on track because his car was halfway broken already. Or the guy that was leaking in front of you, and you get walked off the line because there's coolant on the start line. No, put water wetter in your shit unless it's gonna freeze or something. Unless you have a reason to it, put water and water wetter in your car.
So Matt Azario, me and my shitty car, I'm on the track for like 3 to 4 hours on a 6-hour event, and he was just curious in the US how it was, on a little bit of a higher level. Most cars are tires for him for his event. He's going through 30 new tires per day on a 60-hour or on a 6-hour event.
You're going through 30 tires in one day on a
15 changes. 15. Wait, how big? Wait, whoa. What's the power level of his car?
Power is where my next question too.
30 tires on a 6-hour event, and he's saying that he's only on track for, say, 3 to 4 hours of that 6-hour event. So he's going through 30 tires in a 3 to 4 hour span.
So if I were to guess, his car makes north of 500 or 600 horsepower. He's out there with 100 mile an hour wheel speed. He's rose. He is the smoke king. But I can see that, because I can go out to one of these tracks and in 2 laps kill a brand new set. So if you're out there and your car is set up to have all the wheel speed, you have the power to achieve the wheel speed, and you're on a track that lets you hold that wheel speed for most of the track. Oh yeah, I can see it. It just depends on the car, of course, and the track setup. But 100%, I can see you going through 30 tires. We went to Austin, and I was doing a demo where I literally took a nap in the middle of the day and still went through like 12 tires. So for sure, it's a thing. I believe him. I wouldn't know about every single event, but man, if you're going to even your practice events and you're going through 30 tires in a practice event, you better be practicing for something worth it, because that's a lot of money just to be driving. If you're just driving.
I mean, unless they're all scrubs and he's got like free tire change service or something.
Ooh, yeah, no, scrubs don't count.
He's running 170 horsepower 323 Ti E36 compact. Tires
Ain't no way.
195 45 16, and he says he's just a mad driver.
No, absolutely
That's
not.
That's an inconfigured or an unconfigured car.
Where is this chat? What am I missing here? Yeah, no, there's no way. There's I'm sure you can. You have to be on like scrubs or something, but you're not going through brand new tires. You're not going through 30 brand new tires with 100 horsepower. Unless you're running like 90 PSI, you have the wrong setup, or there's something going on there. It's not like I have this competitive car at whatever level going through 30 tires. I can't see it.
Your tires rubbing, budget?
It's possible, yeah. I mean, well, 195 shouldn't be rubbing on a 318 Ti. Is that what he said? Or 323?
30 tires is nuts. In a day. 30 tires is nuts for 1,000 horsepower. Not 30,000, but probably 30 tires is still, I think, kind of excessive for 1,000 horsepower.
And he's saying that's on some on Hancooks.
I don't know, man.
Is it new old stock maybe?
Or like yeah, if
Is it
they're
de-lambing?
if they're
He's
old
saying
and
that
they're coming apart or
He's
something.
basically saying that he kills new tires in about 3 laps.
How horrible is the course that he's
Something is-
running?
Yeah, something is either wrong with the setup or something. The track is bad.
It's dog shit.
You know,
The
like
track would have to be utter dog shit for him to roast through a set of brand new Hancooks in 3 laps with his power level.
Moth
That-
is
yeah.
saying Yoda looks cooked. Looks like he's just been over there vibing.
Well, he's
Yeah,
not
pretty
wrong.
much.
Yoda's vibing the shit out of it.
Yep.
Yeah, and we're all
He's
just kind of
vibing
hanging
and
out here doing our
thriving.
thing, you know. So
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
speaking of, give me about 2 seconds. I'm gonna refill this.
actually, this will be a good time for us to take a little ad break. Let all of us here on cam get up,
Yeah.
use the restroom, do what we got to do. So those of you watching the stream, enjoy the car pack ad and what else that comes to follow, and we'll see you guys here in just a few moments.
Make sure
Go
y'all
for
go
the Panthers.
download the AEO cars.
Yeah, they rip.
Available at vosan.com.
This the kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta, rat-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. This the kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta, rat-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta. DJ Skillis, we beat the realest team on the realest. Watch out, I kill it, watch out, I spit it on the mic, feel it. Y'all can't do what I do, just admit it. I'm about to get it, money, get it. Drop it to the floor, shake my big bitties, popping like did it. My face look pretty, y'all ain't doing shit, no, I done did it. Cause I'm marvelous, fantabulous, a bad chick, the flow sick like oh shit. You know this, I'm too fit to ever quit. Knocking these fools out like pool sticks. I do this, I move this, I prove this. Bars be hard like a pound of bricks. It go up, jumps the boogie to the bang bang high. This the kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta. This the kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta, rat-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta. This the kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta, rat-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta. This the kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta, rat-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta. This the kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta, rat-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta.
It's Missy E and DJ Skrillex. Yeah. This shit so hot, you with it. Yeah.
Rev up your passion with AEO, the ultimate Assetto Corsa community. Calling all automotive enthusiasts and racing aficionados, join us, the exhilarating world at AEO Discord, your premier hub for everything Assetto Corsa. Connect with like-minded individuals who share your love for cars, tracks, and the thrill of the race. Participate in thrilling races, leagues, and challenges organized by our dedicated team. Discuss setups, mods, and tips to enhance your driving skills and performance, and enjoy a welcoming and supportive environment where everyone is passionate about racing. Benefit from the knowledge and experience of seasoned drivers and simulation enthusiasts. We're committed to evolving and growing our community to meet the needs of all racing fans. For more details and updates, visit aeoboys.com. And join us today at our Discord at discord.gg/AEOboys and unleash your passion for driving in Assetto Corsa. Whether you're a seasoned driver or just starting out, AEO welcomes you to join our dynamic community. Rev your engines and accelerate into the world of virtual driving.
Hey everyone, MB Drifts here. Join me on Patreon to elevate your drifting skills with 3 levels of drift school, personalized Assetto Corsa support, and flexible 30-minute anything goes sessions. Your support helps maintain our event servers, which we really need. Head over to patreon.com/MB_drifts and choose your tier. Let's hit the virtual track together.
In need of focus and energy? Try sliding sauce at swiftenergy.gg. Make sure to use coupon code DSKIDS at checkout and save yourself 25% off the entire store. All right, and we're back.
We're back. What's up, guys?
Hey.
Hello. Welcome back. Alright, let's close out some of those unnecessary tabs. Alright. There we go. Don't need none of that.
One last little
Okay.
punchline there. Those of you that don't know, and if you're enjoying the stream, you can head over to Patreon/DSkids, become a stream supporter member. If a monthly subscription thing is not your ordeal, you can go down to the About section below in the channel and hit tip for a one-time payment. Help support us. Help us keep this going.
Oh man.
Yep. You got to get the shameless self promo here.
Hey, you have to though.
Mhm.
You have to.
Catch the people while they got 'em, while we got them on the stream. All right. So now, what's the next edition? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, D-Skids.
So just a quick thing from the AEO chat. Matt Zaro again on the event. People enter the main corner, 500 horsepower at about 60 miles an hour. Me on the same corner doing 100 miles an hour. So maybe that's the difference. I can send you the entry on Discord or something, so I'm not full of crap. Well, you know where it's at. You know the AEO Discord.
Send it on.
Discord.
We'll take a look.
/AEO boys.
I love videos.
Yeah.
Always. So I was gonna say, Kevin, what's the next additions to the C7? What are you doing next?
To the C7, man, I'm at a turning point because the C7 is such a nice street car. I can hop in it, I can drive it anywhere in the country, and it'll make it. It'll make it. So either I add a gear ratio, just change the gear ratio to make it a little more aggressive, or I cut it up and make it a full race car. Those are my two options here. You know what I mean? Like I can add some nitrous to it or something and change the gear ratio, and it'll be competitive. But the thing's still heavy, so if I want to take it to the next level of being competitive, then we got to start cutting it up and getting rid of some of the weight because I've added quite a bit over the years. I think I will probably add some nitrous and change the gear ratio, and then kind of just leave it right there for a little bit until my turbo C6 is together and I can play with that a little bit, and we'll see what happens from there. If I'm digging the full race car life, then that might end up as one of those. I also have a secret project I can't share just yet, but it stems from the family that's sitting behind me.
I know which one you're talking about. We talked about that when we were going in the shed to get that one fucking part.
If that works, then the C7 100% is going full race car. But yeah, once that project is a little more finalized and ready, the C7 is kind of probably chill where it's at, and I'll play with the C6 a lot more.
Heard.
I also get a lot of slack for driving a C7, which is wild because it's cheaper than half these dudes like Pro-Am cars. I just was too lazy to build a car, and so I bought one done already.
So? Who fucking cares? You're out on track.
Yeah, no. It doesn't bother me. You know me. I love the attention. But I just kind of want to see. I want to see what I want to see what a C6 would have been like if I kept with it. And I have collected all of the parts that would have made that car exactly how I would have wanted it back in the day before I sold it. So I want to put it together and see what that thing's like. And then if I'm like, nah, C7's still better, then that car will probably come up for sale. It'll fund my other project, and the C7 will go full race car, and we'll see if we can win some money with it.
So with the C6, you said turbo or twin?
Turbo, probably one single turbo. I used to be a big turbo guy. It's been probably 8 years or so since I've had a turbo car, 7 years since I've had a turbo car. And I kind of miss the noises, so I would like to have the noises back. But
noises.
If it isn't all cracked up to what I think it might be in my head, because that image is always different than what reality is that image in your head. So if it's not what I think it's going to be in my head, then I think that car ended up being for sale, even if it is a fantastic car. There's no point in having two.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
Don't ever say that again.
There's no point.
Slap the taste out of your mouth, Kevin.
Oh, sorry, dude. I can't do it. In my stage of life, there's no point in having two. Unless I have one that's not reliable or whatever.
Twice.
Next
time I see you, it's on site, sir.
You'll understand. You'll understand when I build this next car. You will understand, I promise.
So with
at
the turbo C6, are you doing LS or LT?
Ooh. So me and Danny have been back and forth on that one.
Danny or Daniel?
Danny. Yeah. I think it'd be LS until I blow it up, and then it's gonna be LT just to say I did it, and I have the kit for that too. Because so what that car is gonna achieve is I will.
Do y'all see how prepared this motherfucker is for every fucking situation that comes?
So
I've got a kit for it.
So for the real goal, the behind the scenes goal, I guess the business side of things on that C6 is at the end of the day, I will have a mount kit that you can mount a Camaro diff in a Corvette and a Camaro trans in a Corvette. And that way, that eliminates the Corvette headache for 90% of the people that are trying to build cars in their garage. Because when you buy a Corvette, you might as well finance a lift. Like, you need to. The car needs a lift.
I mean, it's only like $2,000
it.
for a fucking lift anyway.
You know what I mean? But most people don't have either the funds to buy a lift, the space to buy or to put a lift, or the want to even deal with that. So if I can offer them a front trans solution to the Corvette problem, I think that'd be a pretty good one. And then everybody's scared of the LT, but man, the LT and the C7 is so good. So if I can bring the lightweight car with the front trans and the LT together, that car is going to be unstoppable, I think. Like, that car is gonna be nuts. Right. I drove the dog box car this past weekend, and wow, it's wow.
Yeah. Brought back your love for dog boxes,
dude. The weight in the front of the car on a Corvette is the missing link. It's an S chassis with every bit of suspension and all the grip you can ever ask for. It's so sick. It's so sick. And then, like, the motor's not crazy. I think it makes like 500 horsepower, so we can turn it up. Like, you give me that car with a couple hundred more horsepower. We're gonna
250 kit.
Yeah, essentially, like.
Yeah.
We're gonna be messing with the 10K shootouts and the pro bro downs, and I'm gonna you get to play with pro cars. There's not gonna be a car on track that, unless you drive like complete ass, you're not gonna be able to hang with. So I think if I can bring something similar to that and make it affordable for people, I think that would be sick. That'd be the next level.
That'd be Corvette game changer right there, bud.
Yeah, these things are nuts.
Dude, if you can do that for C5, 6, and 7, bruh.
So C5 and C6 are damn near the same car. So if the kit for the C6 doesn't bolt on to the C5, I would be kind of surprised. But chances are it will. Or you just put the C6 subframe in the car and it works. Yeah, I mean, and then other than that, like the C4, I mean, it's not going to work. I mean, I'm sure it can, but I'm not going to make one. But the C5, C6 stuff, oh yeah, for sure. I think that would be a rowdy.
Hell yeah. How many Corvettes have you seen pro level with that front trans?
Pro level? I think Matt Field he's running that 6XD trans, which is like $30,000.
Yeah. I
think that's a little out of the norm, like grassroots or even these money comp guys. I can see him spending it. It's not crazy out of the norm, but your average Joe isn't buying a $30,000 torque tube transmission and diff. It's not happening. Who else is out there? Zhao Barrion. They were saying at the last FD he put a stock trans back in his car, and every video I found online, it looks like he has a stock diff in the car still too. So if I were to guess, he has some variant of like a built trans or something.
Something re-geared or
but I don't think he's front trans either. I know Colette has one that's front trans. Who else built one that's front trans? One of the YouTubers. I can't even think of his name, but I think there's a handful of front trans cars that are still running or running. So I don't know if it's maybe an issue with the weight balance. They don't like it, or what happens there. But I drove this one and it's sick, so I'm gonna build like 5 more. I don't care what the internet says.
It's worked well for you so far, Kevin.
You know what I mean? Like they did something wrong. If I were to guess, I don't know. This thing, dude, this thing's a ripper. I think I drove it more. I didn't drive my own car at that event until like the end of the day.
Well, yeah, it was like no, it was like after 2 or 3 o'clock, something like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I drove the C7, sat there nice and cold all day until I was like, yeah, you know, I guess I could go drive a lap or 2 in that thing and kill the pair of tires and put it right back in the trailer, you know. That front trans is it's a game changer, dude. It changes. It's a different car. It's a different car. But yeah,
So
no,
what
I don't. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what about the that C6? What are you gonna do to that one?
That one, I think we're about done modding it for the most part.
Okay.
There's a couple adjustments we're gonna make. I think I want to change spring rate in the rear. Pretty much stuff just to make it more competitive. I'm sure the car is plenty competitive now, but I see some room for improvement. So we'll change a couple things, probably make it look cooler. I don't know. That car doesn't need anything. It makes all the power. It makes enough power. The gear ratio makes up for the lack of power. And you know, with the quick change and stuff in it, we could pretty much fix any problem we run into if we're on a big track or a small track or whatever. The car will eat it. And with missing all the weight in the back of the car, it does whatever you ask it to. It drives over the front wheels. I love it. It's like, I think it's like how I set my Assetto cars up. I think that I was explaining it. The best way that car I can compare that car is to like the VDC S14 and like C6. It's like in the middle of those two.
Okay.
Which is wild to go from real life to the sim into this car, because the gap isn't very big between the cars. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, this does this, and it won't, you know, you can't just stick it in fourth and launch it off the line type of stuff. But other than that,
man, you put the right quick change in there. Put the right quick change gear in there. You might be able to.
Yeah, I mean, it's close. Like, I was coming through that center section of HPA, which is real slow in the 3rd or 4th gear, and with the clutch kick, the thing will light the tires back up. It doesn't like it, but it'll do it.
Yeah.
So I think it's real close to an actual VDC car, which is the wildest thing I think I've ever driven.
That's insane, because just you as a professional race car builder telling us, the gaming industry, that it is that fucking similar is insane.
It's close, man. It's real close. I have thousands of hours on my sim now. But yeah, no, those are my go-to cars. So to hop in, pretty much the equivalent of my online go-to cars in real life is an absolute game changer. You know,
you can get all the practice you want just without destroying tires and destroying your wallet.
And to the guy going through what did he say, 30 tires in 8 hours?
In a 3 to 4 hour span, yeah.
Yeah, this car will probably do something similar but I think it would take 8 hours though, on some of the tracks that we go through. I did 4 to 6 laps on a pair, so I don't know, like that would literally take about 8 hours to go through that many tires if I were to calculate that out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So to see a 100 horsepower car doing that, it's a little wild. I'm gonna have to watch this video. I'm gonna go watch this video afterwards. But
right,
I'm sure it's possible. You know, you have the right combination of storm. I'm sure it'll work.
I don't know. It's possible that he got a bad set of tires or a bad group of tires.
I guess and you know, being in the Texas scene, everybody in the Texas scene is all about that dollar per lap on your tire, because we do a ton of driving demos. We do a ton of like just fun driving. So we have and everybody's pretty much on the same mindset where all right, what tire works, what tire doesn't work, what tire gets great grip and no life, and what tire gets a bunch of life and no grip. And everybody's almost on that. So when you have 30, 40 people sharing that information, you guys kind of come to a conclusion fairly quickly. And to even think 30 tires in 3 hours is that's 10 tires in every hour. No, like it's hard, man. That's like, you have to, like, that car has to be built so well.
Dude, to even be able to change 5 rear sets in an hour,
like that
you would
poor
only
motor,
be in like
man.
2 or 3 minutes a lap, or 2 or 3 minutes per change
that
of
poor
actual
motor.
drive time.
But yeah, I mean, it would be rough. I think it would be rough, but I'm sure it's possible, like I said, with the right combination of things going on.
It's gotta suck for him to be able to get actual experience consistently.
How do you
I would
think?
assume so.
What do you think, going from driving in sim all the time to going to cars? What do you think your thoughts or ideas?
Dude, the main
how do they
the main
change?
problem.
What's the biggest thing?
The main problem that people are going to face doing that is that they can absolutely, like you were saying earlier, abuse the cars. Keep those engines rev banged to shit and expect them not to blow the fuck up. Because they're going to.
Yeah.
They will blow up.
Sympathy.
Yes, that is a thing. It is a real thing. You can't just rev bang a motor and expect it, if it's not billet, to stay together.
So that 240, that purple 240 I bring out for the other guys to drive, they sent me a video and they were like, hey, he did a donut, or he got his donuts down, or his figure eights down. And all you hear is, and he practiced on sim. I built him a sim. I built him pretty much a replica of my sim. And I set it up exactly like mine was. And I was like, hey, go drive it. And they practiced on that thing. And he went out there and he sent me a video on the sim. And I didn't think to correct it when he sent me the video on the sim, but he pretty much held it to the floor and bounced off limiter. So when they sent me the video of the real car and I realized he was doing that, I had to tell him too. And I was like, yo, you cannot do this. You will blow this car up. Stop. It is 100 degrees outside right now. Do not bounce off the limiter for an hour and a half. Like, sure, the motor's built good, but it's only going to last so long.
Yeah. And on top of that, like, you're destroying every other part of the car that's not meant to handle that.
For sure.
You know, it's not just the engine, it's the whole drive line.
Yeah. The just dropping clutches and the RPM bounce is it's real rough on the rest of the car. Like, people don't understand what that does to, like, the driveline shock or your axles, like, and you're already too low. Half the people want to slam their cars and they're already destroying your axles. So when you add, like, bouncing off the limiter or 100 clutch kicks, like, that poor car, man, that thing's screaming for its life.
Yep.
And everybody starts in something that has, 100,000 miles on it, or it's been properly worn in, as most would call it.
Or 200,000 miles on it, like my Z does.
I
got it. Yeah.
Mad Zaro. I think it's the size. My solid tires heat up so much faster than some beefy 265s or something. You just need 20 friends on a vent. I don't turn off the engine in pits, and wheels are already taken off. Okay.
If you're going through 30 tires, I would 150% go up tire size or two, because if you don't have the horsepower, then you have a bunch of wheel speed. And I mean, if that's what it takes to get around the track, then that's what it takes. Yeah. But that sounds like a lot, especially if you're not driving a pro event where you're changing tires early or you're doing something, preventatively. But if you're legit going through 30 tires in 3 hours, 10 tires an hour or something, that's wild. Like, you could save so much money in a lot of ways. But then if that's not an issue, then have fun, boo
I'm
boo.
at it.
You know, like I bet it looks cool. I bet it looks fucking sick.
Yeah.
A full set of tires every like fucking 20 minutes. So like basically every run.
Well, no, I'm thinking that it would have to just be the rears, or maybe rears for 10 sets or 9 sets and 1 front set of fronts. Yeah.
I mean, I think it comes down to lap. It has to come down to lap. The way you do it, because on a car that's aligned,
and he says he believes he's overdriving the car a lot.
I think it's wheel speed. It has to be wheel. If it's not horsepower, it's wheel speed. So his wheel speed has to be insane. I don't know what it is, but he's probably in, you know, 3rd, 4th, 5th gear.
Here's
or
a
something.
question: what do you air it up to?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah,
it has shameless plug again real fast though, but those of you tuning in on AAO, we are actually substreaming this to you guys from the D-Skids Twitch. So, and I'm actually trying to hit a follower goal and hit my affiliate. So if you guys haven't, go over and hit the real D-Skids at Twitch and just hit me with a follow, and you can watch it at either or. All right. Gotta get this one in there.
Oh yeah, for sure. It has to be a wheel speed thing. I don't think it's gonna be like I said, a horsepower thing or something. And so it'd be how many laps you get per tire. And to put it in perspective, like an FD car, it will get about 2 laps a tire, like for a pair of tires. I think even that's like the standard overseas and most pro events. You're getting about 2 laps a tire. So if his car is getting less than 2 laps a tire, which in an hour, like I said, unless that car is just runs, that's a combination. Like maybe don't fuck with it. I don't know, but that's a lot of tires to go driving. You know, 30 tires at $100. You know, he's spending $3,000, like $3,000 in just tires, like a day.
And one event.
Now imagine you had, you know, a 6-hour day or a 2-day or a 3-day event. Like, there's no way I'm going out and spending $12,000, $14,000, $16,000 on tires. Not to drive a 100 horsepower car, at least. You know what I mean? Like, I'm spending that much money. I'm driving a fucking pro car. Like, it's not worth it. Like,
unless I'm throwing myself toward a wall at 120 miles an hour sideways, with 1,000 horsepower behind me.
Yeah, like not to put this guy down, but there's so many better ways to spend your money. There's so many better ways to spend your money than spending $3,000 every 3 hours, $1,000 an hour to go drifting. You could build a rowdy sim setup. Just miss one event, you know what I mean?
One event, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you got it like that, then hey, by all means, like, have fun, boo boo.
If that's what makes you happy.
But so you can have.
The rear is 1.2 bar, front 2.5, and he's saying that the tarmac quality is pretty shitty. He said new tires in his country only cost him about $30. Hennock or Continentals.
So it's about 22 in the front and about 36 in the rear PSI.
This guy, no, dude, with 100 horsepower, 170 horsepower, like,
that's
195.
All right. So my top thoughts here are gonna be tire quality, because you put a Kenda or a Valino or something on that, there's no way at, what is it, 20 something PSI
horsepower
at 170 horsepower that you're gonna kill a Valino no, there's no way. Absolutely not. Like that.
Okay. He said the tarmac quality is shitty.
But still,
it does play into it, but not to the effect of.
I mean, if you're on like an absolute cheese grater, go spend that money and go to a different track. You know what I mean? Like spend the extra $2,000 and go literally. It cost me $2,500 to ship my car to Germany. You can go anywhere in the world for cheaper than that. You know,
very valid.
Anywhere in the world, you know. If so, either you build a rowdy car and you're having an absolute blast, I mean, it doesn't have to be, as long as you're having an absolute blast, I guess is the bottom line. But if you're doing it just because you have to, there's much better options. You know,
I agree.
Shoot me a message. I'll help you with setup. We can save a bunch of tire and probably make your car way faster. Or we switch you to a tire where you don't have to buy 30 tires, because I'm sure that gets expensive.
So Brandon just made a good point. He said he drove for 4 hours straight at HPA on his Miata with 195 40 15s. He burnt 4 sets in 4 hours.
Hot lapping.
Hot lapping.
Yeah, I mean,
dude, I'm really curious. Like, man, if you've got a video of you doing like these runs and shredding tires up, I mean, like, please post it in the Discord. We're more like we want to see the video, please.
Yeah, I want to see how bad that fucking road is.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like, I might have to ship my car there and see what that lap's like.
Speaking about shipping, did you ever think about taking that over to Nord?
Nord?
Or have
What's
you?
Nord? What's Nord?
Nordschleife.
Nordschleife.
Oh,
Nürburgring.
yes. Okay, so funny story. I was born in Germany, right? So I have family and stuff over there. So we were recently back over there, and I budgeted about $4,000 to go drive the Nürburgring. I was so excited. I set aside 2 days of my trip. We showed up there, and I'm like going through all the insurance paperwork, and I was gonna rent this. I think it was an M4, and I was so excited. I'm a BMW guy. So excited to drive this M4 in the Nürburgring. And I look at the insurance, and they're like, yeah, so this is how much the insurance is, and it puts me right about the $4,000 mark with insurance and car and on the track and everything. And then they were like, if you crash it, you're still liable for $10,000 or $15,000 of the accident before the insurance kicked in, like a deductible. And I was like, well, fuck all of that, because for $1,000 more, I can ship my car here, crash my own car, and then ship it back broken.
For cheaper.
Yeah,
y'all are asking.
So I decided not to
claim
drive.
insurance.
And we just wandered around. It was still a fantastic time, but for $5,000, I can ship my car there and drive around. There's a few mods I'd have to do,
There we go,
but
gents.
$5,000 is where it's at.
Great.
Let me pull this over here. When I do pull this up, I apologize. One of the cameras is going to be messed up. Like I said, one of our guests was supposed to be with us. But if you guys look in the Discord, those of you who are here on the stream with me, I'm going to pull up a screen share real fast. He did post a video.
All right, let's see it.
All right, yeah.
All right, let's see here. All right, where are you at? Where are you at?
Streamlabs.
All
So
right,
those
so
of
do
you
you have
in,
the Twitch pulled up?
Those of you guys watching, that orange quadrant was actually meant for another one of the guests. Weren't really planning on using the screen share format today, but we're going to, because we're going to share this video that Manzaro posted in the Discord, led us to his YouTube channel. So I guess free plug. Hey, he says sorry for the low quality content, but here we go.
Okay. Woot woot. Got some flames on it. Okay. All right. So it's a little bit of grip and drift. Tires have to be trash. If this is the, I'm sure that was the the entire run, right? Like. No.
3 hours. It's not. My car barrels fucking smoke, and I get like 8 to 12 tires a lap, and I will make that car disappear behind me with 8 to 12 tires of with 8 to 12
That's
laps per
true.
tire.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna go back to it, I think it's either a tire coming apart or just not a quality tire, or the setup is just is bad and it's cording it because it's
Eating
too
through.
towed in or it's not towed in enough or it's just
Camber.
eating tires prematurely. I'd be curious to see what that car goes through tires daily driving.
So another thing that we were talking about earlier on in the Drifter's Corner was suspension. So part of suspension is camber. Zeroing out your camber under load is what we're looking for in drifting. We want to be able to maximize our grip, right? We want to maximize our speed that we can move forward while we're spinning those tires. Now, what we do is we'll add camber, and because what happens when you add the weight, the camber of the rear tires, they kind of come in a little bit, right? So we have to add camber through the suspension to zero it out so that the car doesn't wear your tires completely fuckery, right?
Boys,
Totally
can we,
tires too.
Can we take a moment, rewind for a second? Skip, could you bring that clip back up for a
Hey,
moment?
Yeah.
Also, slide me down into the correct chat. I'm in the chillin' chat.
Yeah. Here we go. All right.
I want to take a closer look at the car whenever it's going by. If you could get it to where it's kind of like, a little closer, but you can kind of see better.
Let's see. Oh,
Yeah,
right there,
about
right
right
there,
there,
right
right
there.
there.
Just a little bit back. I saw everything I needed to see. Just a little bit back, even further than that. Right there.
I want to say
Okay.
fitment might have a little bit to do with why you're eating your tires.
Not even the front, the rears.
Yeah,
So
I'm glad
he's
you're on
tucking.
that.
He's tucking so
yeah.
hard.
I think
hard.
fitment might be a bit of your issue as to why you're tearing through your tires so much, and that's coming
Yep.
from somebody who has a fitment car. Yeah, that's probably the reason. If you're burning through that many tires, your fitment. Yeah. I kind of glanced over that at first, but then
Yeah.
as I got to thinking about it, and the more we started talking about it, I was keen to look back at it to see
So we have it.
what
He
actually
actually posted one more video too.
Okay. Let's take a look.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
see what's going on there.
So this is a combination high speed reverse entries mixed with bad fitment. Not necessarily bad fitment, but incorrect fitment for drifting to
Yeah, he says,
maintain
yeah.
consistency of
He
tires.
he made a comment. He says, I'm into that stancy shit.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
That'll eat the fuck
probably
out of
the
some
reason
tires,
why
bud.
you're eating your tires.
Yeah, raise that bitch up. Give it proper fitment.
I mean, if you have
Bring it down to half
coilovers,
speed.
fully adjustable coilovers, it doesn't take much to readjust. You can raise your car.
Correct.
My VCs you can adjust on the fly. Like,
Nice slides though, man. I mean, it was a sweet entry.
Yeah, it was a hella nice backy.
yeah, good shit.
But yeah, I definitely would say it has to do with you being stanced out, homie, and then just fucking sending it.
Yeah.
Might just have a
Yeah,
lot
I'd
to do with
say
you burning the fuck out of
combination.
tires.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it one more time, half speed.
Right. Like, even if you want to just drive normal stanced out after the event, if you'd use the car normally as your drift or drive/drift car, just raise it up for the event. Or that.
buy
Yeah.
a second car for that.
He could. He entirely could. Well, okay, so given whatever, I don't know what country he's in, but some countries it costs a fucking lot to register a car.
You're right. You are right.
So
But I
having
believe
a
he said he's
second
from
car
Poland.
may not be, it may not be an option there. I don't know.
If track only, I mean, we're here in Texas. We drive a bunch of nonsense on the street, so
We do.
but-
Swang is
on,
swang
and
is
on and off the track.
we drive a
on
bunch of
Cyber
nonsense.
trucks.
But I would
Oh my gosh.
I would 100% set that car up right, go drive a couple events, save that extra money, and then you can buy a second car to have a Stancy car. And then you don't have to worry about your Stancy car getting destroyed because you have a second car.
You can definitely save the money through all the tires you're eating.
And he was
Buy
saying
some
on that,
proper tires and stance the car proper.
that was a
fitment is-
100-mile-an-hour entry, he said, on that.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Come to Texas.
Should.
know.
Hit
Thanks
TMS at 100
for-
miles an hour.
Yeah, right.
Thanks for
TMS.
posting it.
Yeah, for sure. That's solid backy though. I'm digging that one. I'm digging
sure.
that one.
That was nice. But no, like TMS, you do 100-mile-an-hour entries right there with the C7, C6.
Hey,
You did
post,
that in- Oh, where's
sorry,
that?
if-
What
if
was
you
that
can-
event
if you
called
hear
that you
me-
just did?
post that. Post your tire and brand and stuff somewhere. I'm
You said it was
curious to see
Hankook.
what tire you're looking at.
Yeah,
They
what
were-
model of
here, I can pull
Hankook
it
is
back up
that?
because he did. He actually said it on the Twitch. He was running Hankook or Continentals at.
Question: are they like the Walmart knockoff brands, or are they like actual hand?
That'll be something he'll have to answer.
Yeah, depending on like which Hankook it is. Man, snow tires. Snow tires are pretty rowdy. You can get those pretty cheap too. Snow tires
Yeah.
barrel smoke though. So if you guys ever want to look like an FD car with your 170 horsepower, put a snow
Hankook
tire
S1
on it.
Evo 3.
S1 Evo 3.
And what was the
There-
tire size you're running again?
195s.
And Evo 2s a few years ago.
Probably R16s. So 195 40s.
Yeah, 195, 45, 16s.
What's the tread wear on these bad boys? I'm sure they're not D-lamming. 340? Yeah, dude, there's no fucking way.
You're
There's
getting
no
those for
way.
$30 a tire?
There's no way, man. Like, I mean, sure, maybe over there if they're used or you got
Yeah, they gotta
one
be
that,
assume
that
like
fell off a
new
truck or
stock.
something.
Like-
Yeah, no shit. Are you just getting these off the back of a truck? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
These things are what, $275? Oh, I guess this
You
is
can you can get them for $100 on some UK sites.
yeah, no, see. But still,
even the-
that's still a quality tire. It shouldn't come
Yeah.
apart. So I'm back to it's the alignment setup. Change your alignment, you'll probably save yourself thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
and if
Thousands.
you monitor the AEO chat for a moment, I'm gonna step away. I gotta use-
That's fine. All right. So yeah, let's continue on with a little bit more of that suspension conversation though. So now along with camber, we deal with toe, right? So
Yep.
we've got camber arms, toe arms, all these other changes that we can make along with caster in order to make the cars drift better for us, right? So what we do with toe is we try to straighten it out if we're trying to go faster, right? If we're trying to drift less, or we'll add more positive toe if we're trying to drift more and have less straight line, right? So in practical applications, Kevin, what are some of like the limitations that you'd go to? Like how far toe in, how far toe out would you go, depending on what you need?
I think it depends heavily on the car. So essentially, I don't think I would go past a degree front or rear. There are very, very few circumstances I think I would go past a degree in any direction. And even anything past half an inch is a bit excessive. But you'll catch me sometimes, like some of these tracks, you'll catch me sometimes with a half a degree, 3/4 of a degree out, or an inch out, on like my front toe, trying to get the car to react just a little bit faster or something. But it's rare. Most common, we're running eighth inch, half inch or a 1/4 inch toe in or out, front or rear, depending what you're talking about. But again, it depends super heavily on the car, how you're driving. During comps, I change my entire setup almost every different comp, depending on what track we're at. But yeah, I definitely stay within those degree ranges. And like I said, it's rare to see me above half a degree or half an inch in any direction on any track most of the time.
Okay. So on Assetto, what we do is we set our toe in the front around between what, 0 and -1/4 ish.
Yeah.
And in the rear, we'll go anywhere from, I know you've told me this before, we'll go negative toe in the rear to like what, 0.15 or so, if you really need to get up there. And
So
you really want to be on their door.
Assetto is weird for me, and I think we've had this conversation a couple times.
Yeah.
When I think about it. Assetto, I will do some wild stuff on Assetto to get the car to act like I want it to in real life, like how I think it should act. So like you'll catch me on Assetto, man, with a 1.5 degrees of toe in, or 1.5 inches or whatever toe in, and all kinds of crazy stuff. But again, that depends on the car pack, on what track you're at, and the rest of the setup. Like the toe is so the toe is so dependent on everything else going on in that session. You know what I mean? So yeah. I think it's one of those things you really should play with and see what you like. I agree. It's the same thing with like front camber. Some people are like, oh, you need X amount of camber, but at the end of the day, you're the one driving the car. If it drives easier for you with less camber or more camber, drive it that way. The way that I'm telling people to do this is set it up to where you can be as lazy as possible to complete the same action. You want to put as minimal inputs into the wheel, into your feet as you need to, just to barely complete the action properly. You don't want to overexert force. You don't want to overdo your wheel. It's just going to look sloppy. Yeah, and then the more effort you put into your handwork or your footwork, the less you're thinking about what you're doing. So the less work you put into your hand motions or your foot motions, the more you can actually sit there and think about, okay, I need the car to be closer here. I need the car to be on this zone. I need the car to be here. And this feels kind of weird about the car. It's doing X, Y, and Z. But you have more time to think about it because you're not over there flailing on the fucking steering wheel. And I think the first time you were having an issue, MB, the first thing I asked you for was send me a video of what you're doing. That was the first thing I asked. I was like, send me a video. I don't care what track. Make sure you're kind of struggling. I want to see what happens. And that video gives me so much information. It gives me if you have any bad habits, if your car is set up wrong, or if you like to do something stupid and the car doesn't like that. It gives me so much information to give you feedback on, to help you get around the track, to help you solve whatever problem you're solving. Something as simple as a video of you driving would tell so much. So another thing I gotta augment that real quick. A video of driving with like pedals app pulled up so we can see what your feet are doing and what your hands are doing at the same time, so we can make sure you're not resting your foot on the clutch or something stupid like that may destroy your clutch. For sure. Ask me how I know. But yeah, that's literally the first thing I asked for is show me a video of you in the car. Show me what you're doing in the car, because you can tell so much of what's going on between car setup and between your driving habits and everything. You can tell so much what's going on just based on that one video. Yeah, that is true. Very true. But no, I'd just like to thank you for coming out here tonight, Kevin, to hang out with us and to share with us your stories and to impart your wisdom, sir. Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me. Definitely a pleasure having you on. If you're ever interested in
want to share some more with us and share some more with everybody in the streams, you're more than welcome to come back, return. Guys in the chat, if you'd like to see Kevin return, you know, let us know in the chat, let us know on the VODs, go in the Discord, say we want Kevin back, and, you know, maybe we can get him
We'll work on him.
to come back. So,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then yeah, like I mean, we just kind of broke the surface, I think. But if you guys run into anything, you know where I'm at. Thanks for having me on. I had a great time.
yeah, for
And
sure.
just as another plug for Kevin, he runs Rentspec Industries out of Houston, Texas. And do you want to host your website or anything for people to contact you?
My Instagram is, I think my name's on here. Just put an @ sign in front of my name. Shoot me a message if you guys have any questions or whatever. I'm always pretty helpful. I might take a little bit to get back to you, but I mostly get back to most of the people. So just shoot me a message. If I can help you, I can help you. If you guys are local and I can help you, I 100% help you, and we'll make something happen.
Yeah, and for those of you that'll be tuning in later on through the podcast, later on that would have been Kevin.RSI, so at Kevin.RSI on Instagram. Remind you guys that we do this podcast every Monday and Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. We do appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thanks again to every one of you guys, Yoda, MB, Atmos, Kevin, all you guys being here, because without you it would just be me here babbling to myself. And it would be far less entertaining. I am sure of that. So if you guys are not following the channel, make sure you hit the follow channel so you can stay in tune with us and keep in touch for the next episodes. Keep in touch with my shenanigans as well in gaming. Those of you at the AEO channel, stay tuned here. You'll keep in touch with our podcasts and future competitions that we host over there. I'm going to leave you guys with this one last ad break as we sign off. And see you guys on the next one.
Later, guys.
Chill.
This the kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta, rat-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. This the kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta, rat-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta. DJ Spillis, we beat the realest team on the billis. Watch out, I kill it, watch out, I spit it on the mic, fill it. Y'all can't do what I do, just admit it. I'm about to get it, money, get it. Drop it to the floor, shake my big bitties, bopping like did it. My face look pretty, y'all ain't doing shit new, I done did it. Cause I'm marvelous, fantabulous, a bad chick. The flow sick like oh shit, you know this, I'm too fit to ever quit. Knocking these fools out like pool sticks. I do this, I move this, I prove this. Bars be hard like a pound of bricks. It go up, jumps the boogie to the bang bang high. This the kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta. This the kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta, rat-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta. This the kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta, rat-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta. This the kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta, rat-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta. This the kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta, rat-ta-ta.
It's Missy E and DJ Skrillex. Yeah, this shit so hot you with it. Yeah.
Hey everyone, are you passionate about cars and racing? You've got to check out the AEO Boys Discord because it's the ultimate hub for all things Assetto Corsa. Imagine a place where you can connect with like-minded individuals who share your love for tracks and the thrill of racing, because that's exactly what we're offering. We organize exclusive events that provide adrenaline-pumping, thrilling races, competitive leagues, and exciting challenges, all put together by our dedicated team. If you're into the technical side of things, our Tech Talk sessions are perfect for discussing setups, mods, and tips to boost your driving skills and performance. But it's not just about the cars and the tracks, it's about the community. We pride ourselves on having a friendly and supportive atmosphere where everyone's welcome. Whether you're a seasoned driver or just getting started, you'll benefit from the expertise and insights of experienced drivers and simulation experts and enthusiasts who are eager to share their knowledge. We're committed to continuously improving and growing to meet the needs of all racing fans. For more information and details about updates, be sure to visit our website at aeoboys.com. So are you ready to hit the virtual track with AEO Boys? Join us today at discord.gg/AEOBOYZ and unleash your passion for driving an Assetto Corsa. Rev your engines and dive into the world of virtual driving with us. Trust me, you're gonna love it. Hey everyone, MB Drifts here. Join me on Patreon to elevate your drifting skills with 3 levels of drift school, personalized Assetto Corsa support, and flexible 30-minute anything goes sessions. Your support helps maintain our event servers, which we really need. Head over to patreon.com/MB_drifts and choose your tier. Let's hit the virtual track together.
In need of focus and energy? Try sliding sauce at swiftenergy.gg. Make sure to use coupon code DSKIDS at checkout and save yourself 25% off the entire store.